How many times have you had a conversation with parents where they're like, that's not how I was taught, or the old ways are the best ways? This is an example of apprenticeship of observation. They've been apprenticed into an understanding of education because of their decade-plus experience in the classroom. They haven't seen all the research and all of the practices that have developed since then, and so they look at what you might be doing in the classroom and go, I don't know about that. That's not how it was for me, so you should do it the way that worked for me. Even though there might be a ton of supporting research and evidence that says that's actually not as effective as what you might actually be doing in the classroom. Parents don't understand that. They're missing a lot of key data. They only saw what worked for them, and not all the times where that exact same pedagogical approach didn't work for their peers. What can be even worse when working with parents is when they have like some kind of part-time teaching, like a coaching position. And so they'll often like assume whatever works in whatever sport they're working in will work in every single context. But one of the key things that they don't seem to understand is that the athletes that they are working with are choosing to participate there and are likely paying to participate, which is very different from working with students who are mandated to be there for a decade plus of their life when they might not want to be, nor are there as many external influences that would impact their coaching. Apprenticeship of observation can also lead to some problems with the admin, especially admin who haven't taught in a long time. They might not understand fully the amount of pressures that teachers are under right now due to like the different policies that are having a negative impact on their teaching, how students and parents are communicating in and outside of the classroom and with the teacher. So while an admin might come into your room and might give you some kind of evaluation on how you're doing, they are simply observing, but they don't necessarily have the context that you might have in terms of how difficult teaching is compared to a decade ago. There's so many more factors to consider. Like I started teaching my senior year of high school in 2003, like really getting into it, teaching private lessons, teaching drum lines, etc. And then full-time in the classroom, worked with every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student over the last couple of decades. And there's so many more things to consider nowadays than there were even 10 years ago. Like a lot of the problems that happens with educational policy. This excerpt of the CSK8 podcast is from episode number 202, which is titled The Apprenticeship of Observation and Computer Science Education.